Hey, today's sponsor is guess who? That's right, 13. Our friends at 13 make high quality clothing. All their stuff is cut just right to give you a little bit of extra confidence. Don't I look a little bit more supple in this shirt? It's because the shirt is doing all of the work for me. If you want to look this supple, check out their website, thur13en.com. Pick yourself up some t-shirts, hoodies. Use the code word CoryCast at checkout, all one word, and save yourself a little bit of money. Let them know that Cory sent you. Today's guest is my friend Ryan. He owns Edge, a fantastic gym, and they're going to open up a recovery lounge not too far from their current place. I've always loved Ryan. He's been such a great human being, and I've always been rooting for him from the sidelines because he's just created such a wonderful place that is such a perfect mixture of people from all different walks of life. I said in the podcast, you know, gyms kind of have a vibe to them. When you think of Gold's Gym, there's a very particular person you think of who would be working out at Gold's Gym versus somebody who would be working out at Planet Fitness. Not to put these people in a box, but just providing the example that, like, Edge is such a great mix of, like, there's 80-year-old grandmothers that work there, and then you could see somebody getting ready for a bodybuilding competition, and then you look over and you could see somebody getting ready for a strength and conditioning competition, and then you could look over to your left and see a college student, and then look over to your right and see the crazy businessman, woman-oriented person who only can fit a workout in, and you see them take off their suit, get on in a t-shirt and shorts, and it's one thing I've always appreciated about Edge. It's just such a perfect mix of all these people from different walks of life. It's always made me feel really comfortable. If you want to join the DECA competition that Edge is putting on, it's going to be December 10th. We're going to dive into later in the podcast what the DECA competition is, so I won't go into too much detail. But if you want to register, you should check out their Instagram, Edge Strength Conditioning. I'll put the links below. And if you are watching this episode on Spotify, do me a favor, hit that follow button. It's a free thing that helps my podcast grow, and it doesn't cost you anything. So hey, I appreciate your time and energy. I hope you love this podcast because Ryan is a wonderful human being. So without further ado, here is my guest, Ryan Vollmer. Ryan, I have met you so long. Was it Tai Chi first, and then when I started working out with Jamie, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Tai Chi first.
Yeah.
And you run the gym Edge, and I like the story of where you are now. And I think we should start like the beginning because I think they'll appreciate the ending more. When you first opened up your gym, how long ago was that?
It all started about 10 years ago. I didn't open 10 years ago, but the ball was rolling then. So, like, so in 2013, I started, making the plan about this time 10 years ago, like, just thinking about it, right?
Like wanting to open your own gym?
Yeah, so I worked at Gold's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I didn't really love it. Mm-hmm. I liked the job. I liked doing it. And I always felt like, oh, I could do this and I could do it better. I could make it good for me and I could make it good for the customers.
Yeah.
Like everybody be happier.
Right. How long were you at Gold for?
Not long, maybe 2 years.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So at least you got some experience because you were a personal trainer there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. So then how long, it's about 2 years, you're at Gold's. Mm-hmm. When was there like a final nail in the coffin that made you want to like open the gym?
No, I've always been bad at having a boss, right? Like, so there was always some friction there with just being managed.
Right.
Like I didn't take well to it. And
some people don't, man.
Yeah.
And some people don't.
That's been a problem.
Yeah.
So, I was formulating the whole thing, and No, there wasn't really a moment where I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
It was overall a positive experience.
How long were you planning before it was like official?
Maybe 6 months.
Yeah, it seems like that Goldilocks zone, 6 months to a year of planning when you're like trying to start something.
Yeah. Yeah. So like around 3 months in, I started, like looking for a place. I had a business partner at the time who I don't have anymore. And so we're looking for places and kind of like softly coming up with like plans. And, so things didn't work out with him.
Right.
We parted ways before I opened.
Before you opened the gym, yeah.
But around that time, word got out to Golds that I was doing this. So
They probably kicked you, right?
Yeah. They
because
didn't take-
non-compete.
they didn't take kindly to that.
Yeah, yeah. I can understand. I can understand the position. But you finally, like, that was a nice... I bet you in hindsight, there was a nice moment because it was like, all right, now I'm putting all my focus in on this place rather than being like half in, half out.
I was but I was a little off guard. Like it happened a little quicker than I was ready. So like, this was all like around the end of the year, and so around January to March of 2014, I was training people in my basement.
Oh, damn.
I had two kettlebells, a medicine ball, a stability ball, and like that was it. And I was just trying to like keep a little money flowing and keep people attached to me while I was getting this going. So for like 3 months, I was just in the basement trying to.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we, in that time period, we found the place, ordered all the equipment, and then March of 2014, we like moved into the original location, which was like the little hole in the wall garage. It was like literally a car garage, like still like oil on the floor, and we're like, yeah, let's put some equipment in here.
Yeah. But do you still remember the feeling of when like the doors were finally open to that place? Like maybe in hindsight, like comparatively to where you are now, it seems like a broom closet, right?
Yeah.
But like that moment when you first like cut the ribbon and grand opening,
Yeah.
what was that like?
Mixed emotions. Well, for one, it felt awesome. Like, here, we're finally here. Like, it's mine. And then like you open the doors and nobody comes in.
Right? You cut the grand opening and
Yeah.
then no one comes through
Yeah,
the front door.
crickets.
Yeah, god dang.
I'm like, okay. So I had basically in the very beginning, it was just me doing personal training. Like, a couple people joined the gym in my business plan, which, I had no idea how to make a business plan. My strategy was to have like, I don't know, maybe 100 members in the first month. I'm like, yeah, that sounds reasonable.
And you're like, you have no capacity of like, did you ever see like Gold's numbers comparatively? So you had something to like base the numbers off of?
I had some general ideas.
Yeah, but different. Like Gold's is like a name brand. You're just starting, so completely different expectations.
Yeah, a place like a Gold's is going to have like a couple thousand members, where a place like me is going to have a couple hundred. Mm-hmm. So it's way different scale.
Right. And then you cut the ribbon. No one walks through the door. You have a mix of emotions. But how long are you in that spot until you had an opportunity to grow to another building?
It was almost 3 years. So the first 2 years, like, growing progressively, adding an employee here and there. Well, here, I added one employee. Eventually what it really was the parking lot situation there. Like it was causing a lot of tension between me and the landlord, who was like right next door to me.
What was the parking situation? Like not enough spots for everybody? Yeah.
He had a car garage next door, and it just didn't work. Like,
yeah.
I had people coming in, he had people going out, and it was just
chaos.
Yeah, it was chaotic.
Yeah.
And he was always pissed, and I was always like nervous about pissing him off. So when I found a place to move to, it wasn't difficult for him to let me out of the lease early.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. He's like, fine, less traffic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'll put another garage in here. Like, I'm sick of this gym.
That's crazy. Then you have to take all of that heavy ass gym equipment, move it from point A to point B.
Yeah.
How long does that take? That's got to be an all day thing, especially.
So you rent like a U-Haul or something, a Penske truck, and then you get as many friends as you can, and you can get it done in a day.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. Dude, don't have me pick up the 75-pound plate.
There was a weird transition period for that. So like once again, I ended up in a basement because I don't remember why I had to get out, but like maybe I gave him notice I was ending the lease, and
He was just like, okay, see ya.
yeah. So I had to get out like quicker than the second place was ready.
Yeah.
And there was a basement there, so I moved all my shit downstairs. So like,
Oh, so you had to move it again?
yes.
Oh, come on, man.
So we moved, like everything into the basement, and I got like this pseudo gym kind of open where people are like, working out in the basement. I can't believe the things people did. Like, first of all, working out in like a garage, and then they're working out in a basement, like all dusty and dark, and probably no music. Like, but then finally I finished. We moved everything up. It was really nice, and that was another, I don't know, maybe 2 years I was there before.
What was the difference between opening your first place and your second place?
Well, each time like I move, I learn something or learn a lot. So like I had a better plan for how to lay the place out. Plus I was able to work with an architect there. And
Whoa.
yeah,
Cool.
Like the landlord, well, they like amortize the cost of the construction, but like so he essentially funded a construction project, and I got to meet with the architect and plan the whole thing out. Like, here's the bathrooms,
Nice.
and this and that. So it was like by design,
Yeah.
which was a huge difference.
Well, as opposed to the first one, it was kind of just like wherever you put your equipment was kind of just plop there, no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
And second one, you got to creatively choose where everything was going in that gym.
Yeah. So like the first one, like there was a massage room that was like the former like paint room, and there was like cardio equipment in this kind of like weird office space, and it wasn't meant to be a gym.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
the second one was meant to be a gym.
Mm-hmm. And the second place opened up. Did you have to buy like more equipment because was it a bigger square footage you covered?
Yeah.
Was it like a big difference where you were like, oh crap?
No, it was probably like another 1,000 square feet. But it gave me room to buy more stuff because the first place was definitely packed. Well, it felt packed to me. When I look back on pictures, I'm like, I had nothing. Like, I can't believe people paid me to go there. Like, I got these like 3 jankety squat racks, and like the rubber I had for the floor like only covered part of the floor. Like,
Right.
There was always like, oh, someday I'm gonna buy turf. That day never came.
Yeah, right. At what point does it come to you, like in your business, when you know it's time to grow? Because you go to that second spot, then there's the third spot, right? Which is where you're at now.
Yeah.
Right.
The second spot, well, it's like landlord drama for me. So the second spot, once again, I didn't really plan on leaving when I did, but there was a little friction between me and my neighbor. They didn't like the constant pounding of weights on the floor.
Oh. Above?
No, so
they probably felt it.
they could, yeah, it was more a vibration thing because there was like the basement. We had a shared basement underneath.
Oh, yeah.
So like in their account, like they'd make it sound like like pictures are falling off the wall, and like it's like.
But not really. It was just it was a thud that kind of shook
There
them a
might have
little.
been some dramatic embellishments.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So that got kind of heated, and it came to an end.
Yeah.
And at the same time, actually, the building I'm in now, the Dietz building, a guy who was a manager there, used to work out at Edge, and he was like, "Hey, we've got this commercial space in the Dietz building," and I was like, "I don't know, it sounds like too big." He'd bring me over and show me. It was like 10,000 square feet. And at the time, I was 5,000 square feet. I'm like,
So we're talking double.
Yeah,
You're about to double your size,
it was
dude.
huge. And I'm like, no way. But then stuff started to get bad with the landlord. So I'm like, all right, let's talk. So we ended up cutting it down to 8,000. They subdivided up a little bit. But still 8,000, like I ended up moving all my stuff over there. And once again, like the landlord was happy to let me go early because he was sick of me banging weights.
Ryan, why is there a trend? No, I'm just kidding. That's
I mean,
hilarious.
it could be me and my authority issues.
You're like, dude, it goes back to you not liking a manager and you wanting to work for yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell me. So that's where you're at now. It's an 8,000 square foot area.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. With showers and there's a massage room in there, right?
It was a massage room. Now it's physical therapy.
Okay, it's been a hot minute. I was working out with Jamie Fryer for I think it was right before COVID.
Yeah.
Like literally, like 2019. And I love Jamie, but I have like a competitiveness to me that like when I work out with somebody, I'm like, no, I'll just do the same weights you can do.
Yeah.
And Jamie has got 60 pounds on me. He
Yeah.
can lift way heavier. So he's like doing a 200-pound overhead press. And I'm like, nah, bro, I got this.
Yeah.
And no, it was a good time. I love working out with Jamie.
That's good and bad because one, it's gonna push you to like work
Yeah,
harder.
yeah.
But it's got to be within reason.
Yeah. Like if Jamie didn't save me that day, I probably would have just broken my spine in your building. I'm sorry. It probably would have happened.
Yeah. We got a dumpster for people like that.
Yeah. And now you guys are expanding to like a new location, not like moving it to a secondary location.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Is it like this one where it was more planned out and more met with an architect and stuff?
Yes.
Nice.
It's something I've wanted to do for a while, and I've been kind of casually looking for a second spot for a long time. Maybe not a long time, but maybe a year and a half or so. And I couldn't really, nothing was really popping up. And then the people in the Barclay Damon building downtown emailed me, and they're like, "Hey, we have this gym space, and are you interested?" So.
Interesting. So they emailed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get those kind of emails every now and then from like, but usually it's like, hey, there's a shopping center in Horseheads that has a vacancy, and
Oh, you're like, I don't want to go to Horseheads. Yeah.
so I initially I was kind of writing it off, like it's too close. It's like a mile away, like
I didn't realize that.
super close.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to have two spots so close. But I've wanted to get into more of a recovery-focused space.
Oh.
Like I can't, where I'm at now in the Dietz building, there's an infrared sauna place. There's a yoga studio. So I can't have any of that.
Oh, because you can't compete what's in the plaza. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so being right up the street gives me the ability to send my customers to my place.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm going to have infrared sauna, ice baths, yoga, massage.
Okay, so this is like an edge recovery spot.
Yeah.
Is it is there still gonna be like weights and stuff there?
Yeah.
Nice. So it's be like, but will the selection be smaller than what's in the D's building?
Yeah, it's kind of be like a mini edge of gym stuff.
Yeah.
It's split levels, 2 floors.
Oh, 2 floors.
Yeah.
Dang, boy, you fancy.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds way more impressive than it is. Like it's smaller than what I have now. Mm-hmm. Like the downstairs is pretty small. It's kind of like a cave because, and this is kind of a cool feature. Back in the day, this building was a bank.
Oh.
And my downstairs spot has a bank vault in it.
No way.
Yeah.
That is cool, dude. What's going in the bank vault? That's the ice bath spot.
Saunas and ice baths, yeah.
Dude, in a freaking safe?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like they don't have the giant door anymore or anything like that, but you can feel it. Like the walls are like 2 feet of concrete.
Oh my goodness,
and
dude.
You walk in there and it's like the air is like different,
The level of quietness in that
Yeah.
room's got to be crazy weird, huh?
Yeah.
Because of how like thick the walls are.
Yeah.
That door has to be so heavy. We have one of the corporate office that's nailed in because that office used to be a Bank of America in Camillus, and when they remodeled it for the real estate office, they took the door off, but they used it as like a decoration piece
cool.
that's over there, and it is so heavy. I didn't realize how heavy it was until they said something. But it makes sense. That's great. So now it's going to be more recovery focused. Ice baths. What else are you gonna have in there? Sauna.
Infrared
That's
sauna.
big, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
big.
Well, and we're setting it up so like those rooms that have a sauna also have the ice bath in the same room. So you'd come and just rent the space for a certain amount of time and be able to go back and forth as much or as little as you want.
Nice.
So you could do, maybe 20-minute sauna, 5-minute ice, 20-minute sauna, that kind of thing.
Okay, damn. All right, that's a cool idea. That is cool. And then, did you say what else were you gonna have? Did you say massage,
Yoga.
spa, and a yoga studio space? That's cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't your wife do yoga? She
Yeah,
teaches yoga,
teaches
right?
Yoga, yep.
Nice. So she'll have like a space she can teach now. That's really cool. What other things are you gonna have in this place?
Well, that's about all I know of for now.
That's cool.
Personal training.
Yeah.
And 24-hour open gym because that's kind of my thing.
Oh, okay. Nice. Will the sauna and all that stuff be 24-hour?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Being 24-hour I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I could see where the issues and complications come from on
My
that.
insurance company might not like it either.
Yes.
But it's just, I'll start off with not having that part 24 hours.
Yeah.
And just see how it goes. And then maybe down the road, if there's a way to manage it, I don't know.
Crazy. Started in your basement,
Yeah.
right?
Back in
Like
another
10
basement.
years.
Now I'm in another basement.
Now you're in another. Dude, you just go from basement to basement,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Damn, that's cool. I love the evolution and growth, though, of your business. It's really cool that it's gotten to a point where now you're like, hell yeah, we're opening a second business.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Was there a lot of planning that went into going into that second spot?
Yeah, probably more.
I was going to say, was it more than the Dietz building?
Yeah, definitely. Cause,
Yeah.
Because by then I felt like, I know how these gyms work. Like, you put some turf over here and some squat racks over there and a bathroom over there. And now I'm like in uncharted territory. Like, I don't know. I never like had a sauna place. I never had ice baths.
Right.
So it's some unique challenges I have to figure out.
Yeah. Why have you just had this lifelong pursuit of personal training?
No, well, I mean, it definitely isn't like that. I had this whole like other career. I didn't really get into training until I was like 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that doesn't make sense though, because you're like 33 now.
Exactly.
So what,
The
dude? That's weird,
The
bro.
math doesn't math.
You're messing with me, dude.
It's girl math.
Yeah.
I was like in the uniform industry, like just delivering uniforms, and I thought that was gonna be like my career path,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
Yeah. What was it about personal training that interested you? Was it because you're already shredded, throwing uniforms to everybody, just
Exactly.
giant python arms?
I was way smaller then.
Were you really?
Oh yeah.
How much did you weigh back then?
Probably 200.
Okay. That's small.
Yeah.
That's small, bro.
That's like minuscule.
130. You got to be 200 to do something.
Exactly. No, anything under 200 is victim weight.
If I was 200 pounds, Ryan, I would look like a thumb. Like it'd just be like a head and then a neck in a straight line down. It would
That's
just.
how I feel.
You have shape with the beard though. It helps, dude.
Yeah, I have to have it. Dude, if you ever shave your head, just you gotta have a
beard with it, right? Yeah. Now I'm thinking, Mike, bald beard. Dennis, bald beard. My friend Kevin, bald beard. What is it with
Wait,
all?
does Musatelli have a beard now?
Musatelli, bald beard. Wow, you just blew my mind. I didn't even think of that.
Because you look like a penis otherwise.
Right. Because there's no. You just look like the helmet.
Yeah, it's not good.
What do you like about personal training so much?
Okay. When I got into it, I had no orientation to anything. I'm just like, I need a job.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you stumbled upon it.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, I can do this. So I got into it, and and I liked it. I like working with people. I like helping people. Um, it's satisfying. It's hard to. It's weirdly satisfying to help somebody. Like, I mean, you probably understand. Like, to help somebody achieve a goal, like you feel, makes you feel good. You know?
Yeah, 1,000. That's why I like coaching.
Yeah.
It's nice because it's like there's something special about like seeing someone's growth, like remembering when they couldn't throw a jab cross and now they're able to like slip a jab cross and then they can throw it quick and they can throw it soft fast. You know what I mean? Like it's really impressive to watch someone grow, and being a part of that is really rewarding. It's fulfilling.
Yeah.
I use the term it gives me an opportunity to fill my cup as well as theirs, right? Because it's like I feel like I did some good stuff that day, you feel good that day, and I don't know. It's always been nice. And on your case, in like with me, you get to me is more like a wide classroom, although I do some private lessons. But your business a lot is like private teaching, like private one-on-one sessions. So you get to, I feel like you get to see that session a little bit more, or that growth a little more intimately, right?
Yeah. Everybody's got different goals. So like, you know, a lot of, I like working with people that want to get stronger. Like that's the most fun.
When the goal is just to get stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't care like, oh, you know, if I gain 5 pounds, like I gain,
Because that's just a number driven, like that's numbers on a plate that we got to move.
and it makes the most sense too. Like you can apply math to it, and it usually works out as long as, you know, they follow the plan. So I like that part of it a lot. And working with someone one-on-one, you know, like you get to just watch that progress from when the time they like can barely move the bar to the time that they, you know, first do a plate on each side to, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's really nice to be a part of that.
When someone comes to you and they say, Ryan, I want to get stronger, but also look jacked as hell, how do you construct the timeline? How do you like figure out what their path is? Because it's got to be different for each person,
yeah,
right?
You know, it's tough because people have like really general goals like that sometimes, where they're like, you know, I want to be big and small at the same time. And I'm like, you know, meaning like they want to get stronger, put on a ton of muscle and lose a ton of fat at the same time.
Oh, right.
And it's like you have to kind of like focus on like, you know, like let's pick like one thing to do first. And the strength piece is usually where to start, because if you have more muscle mass, then you're going to burn more calories. And if you're on like some crazy diet, it's hard to put on any muscle.
Right.
So usually I'll start with get stronger.
Get stronger.
And
Then
hopefully they forget about the whole getting lean part.
you're like, I'm not trying to do no cardio.
Yeah. But like if it comes down to it and they're, you know, that's a big goal, I'll usually outsource nutrition to somebody else, because
I was gonna say, because there's a part of the physical, but then there's also the part is like, hey, you can't do all this work and then eat like trash later. Who do you have like partners you work with closely?
I have a couple people who I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
There's a nutritionist locally named Ed Tenyek. I don't know how to say his last name.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Ed Tenyek. Sorry.
Is that how you say that last name?
I think so, maybe.
Okay, we're going with that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He knows his stuff real well. So like I like somebody like that, where I can just like shoot him a text and be like, hey, I'm gonna send you a client, and I know that he'll figure it out.
Right.
And there's other things, you know, like I have a chiropractor I like to send people to. I have a physical therapist in my building to send people to.
Yeah, especially like when you're in that world, like there's got to always be the question of, man, Ryan, my shoulders kill me. Who do you got for a physical therapist, you know?
And you got to know your scope. Like, you know, like certain things I can kind of diagnose and figure out, but there comes a point where I'm like, this is outside my pay grade.
Yeah. Yep. Stay in your lane, right?
Yeah.
And each person's goals have to be so much different. What do you think is the most common goal? Is it just, Ryan, I want to get stronger?
Most people, I think, come to me for that.
Yeah.
To get stronger. If it's not that, it's, you know, losing X amount of pounds. But I try to change the perspective on that too. So like when people are very pound focused, I'm like, how about we focus on like your body comp? So instead of focusing on just your weight, we're gonna look at your body fat percentage and just trying to drive that in the right direction. And when they see results and their body fat goes down 2 or 3%, but their weight hasn't shifted, they get over the weight thing.
Because it's muscle that they're gaining.
Yeah, and it looks better. And
Right.
really that's what they're saying, I think, is that they want to be leaner.
Right. And what is like your favorite exercises? What are like the basics?
Well, squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yeah.
The big three there. And because with those big three, if they're going to improve those, it just improves everything. Even like, an old lady or something, an old dude. Like, it's good for them. It's going to keep them.
Dude, I saw at Edge. There is an old lady that works out in the mornings. Yeah. I remember her.
Yeah.
Respect to her.
Yeah,
I don't know her name, but I remember seeing her with one of the personal trainers there. I forget his name.
Pete.
Very nice guy. He's a sweetheart of a man.
Yes, he is.
And
her name's Dottie.
Oh, really?
She's
Dottie.
I want to say she's 91 now.
Dude, that's crazy.
She's super old.
I love seeing.
I might be wrong on the age, but she's up there.
Yeah, I love seeing her getting after it.
Oh, yeah. You know what the best thing too? I'll be like training somebody in the morning, and she'll like harp on the guy I'm training.
Yeah.
She'll be like, "Oh, you can do more weight than that."
Dang.
Yeah.
She's kind of mean, huh?
Yeah, but it's it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. She's a sweetheart. What I've always appreciated about your gym is like each gym kind of has like a vibe to it of the members. You have like a good mix of people. I remember when I was going there, it would be like I'd work out with a professional athlete to my right. Then you would have like the businessman 9 to 5. And then on the other squat rack, you would have like the stay-at-home mom. Like it was cool to see a cool mix of people.
Yeah.
What do you think attracts like a cool different mix of people? It's interesting.
That's a good one. I think just having this environment that feels welcoming.
Yeah.
Like I've been in gyms where I don't feel comfortable. It's like, man, this place is too bougie for me, or the dudes in here look like they do way too much HDH for me. Like,
yeah. So right. Like Gold's Gym is a different person that goes there than Planet Fitness, right? It's just a different vibe. And you have a mix of all of those people.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. And that's, I think, why I was so comfortable going to your gym. I don't know, was there thought going into like creating a welcoming environment like that?
Probably not as much as it seems like.
Yeah.
So like I was inspired when I was at Gold's. There was this back room that we used for personal training, and it had a little piece of turf. It had like one squat rack. It had some medicine balls, like all the stuff you'll see at Edge pretty much. And everybody wanted to go in there, and we'd be like, no, you can't come in here without personal training. And it used to drive people nuts. Like they'd just piss them off. And I was like, man, like, why are we not like utilizing this more? So when I made Edge, I'm like, I'm gonna make it kind of like that room, but everybody can go here because this is the kind of stuff everybody wants to do.
Right.
Like, they might think it's the thing they want to do is walk on a treadmill, but when you get in there and you can like push a sled or something instead, or like it's way more fun. Yes,
and I think that's also what's so cool about your place is the wider range of different tools and things to use there that I like. From like the sled, you even had the On-It sledgehammers too. The maces, yeah. I did a workout with Crazy Mike with those maces there, and I thought it was so cool that I was like, oh crap, they got a big tire that you can move and flip and tire and and just get a cool workout in with just so many different machines, and especially I've never seen so many kettlebells in my life. You guys have such a large selection of kettlebells. Yeah. Is that one of your go-tos?
Yeah.
Kettlebells are my favorite.
Yeah.
Kettlebells are my favorite.
They're so good.
What did you do? Like any like special classes for training for the kettlebells? Because aren't there like certified trainers out there for kettlebells?
Yeah, but
Is it kind of horseshit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you could pick up a few things from it, but like, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like with equipment, like a lot of it is inspired by people just asking me. They're like, "Hey, I saw this thing on the internet. It looks really cool." Or I used to have this at my other gym. It was really cool. And I think like I'm not afraid to listen to people. I'm not afraid to tell people no either. But if someone says something and it resonates, I'm like, yeah, I'll get one of those.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I added was these tanks. I don't know if you've seen these. They're like kind of like a sled on wheels.
Oh.
And they use like a magnetic resistance.
Oh.
So you can just crank up the resistance, and basically the harder you push, the more it pushes back.
Right.
They're pretty cool. Like they get used constantly.
I've seen a machine before, but this is a tank, right? Mm-hmm. The ones I've seen is the ones that you mount to the wall. I think is there a magnetic mechanism? It's like there's like a pulley in it that you can use as like a pole bar and stuff. Is that also kind of?
I think it's the same premise for the resistance.
Yeah.
But this is not. This is more like a sled. Like you're gonna.
That's cool.
It's got wheels. You can go outside with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You'd know now, if you stopped in once in a while.
I haven't been since Jamie. I was saying what made me quit was your lack of shake weights. There was not enough shake weights for me in the building.
You should have let me know. I might have ordered you one.
Just bring mine in from home.
Yeah, that's fine.
What I really liked about Jamie was like the basics guy, you know, bench, squat, deadlift.
Yeah.
We did some overhead press. But I loved working out with Jamie because I felt like I was learning. Like I felt like I had a coach.
Yeah.
And I love him and I didn't have to pay him. I was like, thanks, Jamie. This was sick. Like helping me with my form and stuff too, especially because like with bar stuff, I'm not the best with. Like I would much prefer a kettlebell. I like swinging around a kettlebell and whipping that around more than I like benching, to be honest.
They both translate to what you do though. Like
yeah, with jiu-jitsu and Thai.
You know, people get too hung up on like this is the one thing I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
guilty.
Yeah. It's just human nature. You know, you find something you enjoy and you're good at, so you stick with it. Who wants to do stuff they suck at?
Right.
Like,
right.
So you go to the gym and you're like, man, I don't want to touch that barbell. I suck at it.
Yeah, right.
Let me do something I like.
A little intimidated by it.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know, I was intimidated for the longest time was the Aerodyne bike.
Oh, yeah.
I was intimidated by that thing for so long.
I'm still intimidated by it.
Until I use it, and I love it. It's such a good workout. One of my old clients was moving out of state, and she had a rowing machine. So I have a rowing machine that I bought off her.
Oh, cool.
And I love rowing, but I hate it at the same time because I do suck at it, and I don't fully understand the form. So I feel like 2 minutes in, my back is like on fire because I'm sure I'm doing it wrong.
You should be feeling it in your legs too. Like,
yeah, I'm not feeling it in my legs. I'm feeling it in my back. So I feel like I'm doing too much back movement, but doing something you suck at is uncomfortable.
Yeah. And that's why, you know, runners, all they do is run, and, you know, weightlifters, all they do is lift weight. Like jiu-jitsu guys all just want to do jiu-jitsu.
1,000%.
Yeah. Because it's just how it is.
Yeah. What do you think is for a lot of people the biggest hurdle getting into the gym? Is it just a mental thing?
Yeah, I think it's that intimidation factor we're talking about. Like, it's hard to take that first step and walk in the door. Mm-hmm. And once people do it, they're usually good. Once they I always talk about like faking it till you make it. Like, you know, just confidently go in there and join the gym, and, you know, just stick around until, you know, you figure it out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like there's an analogy for it. Just go in there, even though you don't want to. When you get there and start going through the motions, you'll be like, why was I? Those days that I don't want to go to jiu-jitsu and train, I'm like, I forced myself to go. I'm like, no, I need to go. I don't have like Tuesday nights right now. My wife teaches dance Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Tuesday's like, that's my jiu-jitsu night, right? So it's my only day a week to go. So there's some weeks where like admittedly I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go. I just want to stay home and stuff my face. But the second I walk in through the front door and Ken is like, "Hey, what's up?" I don't care. I'm glad I'm here.
I can't tell you how many times, like, at the end of a workout, somebody's like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. Like, and every time it's always like, whatever their situation was, they did not want to work out. They
Yeah.
didn't want to get out of bed, and they did it. And at the end, they were like, yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
How have you ever, like, regretted working out? Like,
No, never. And that's the thing. It's so weird is like, you think that it's like, but in the moment when you do stay home, you feel guilty. You feel like
Yeah.
trash.
you'll regret laying in bed all day.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And then when you get there and you do the thing, it's like, I feel so much better. Why didn't I just get my butt in gear to begin with? And then eventually that voice quiets and I feel like I have those days less and less than I did when I first started.
Hopefully, yeah. A lot of it is just establishing, like, a routine, a pattern.
Are you a very routine centric guy? Like when you're hitting up the gym, do you have your routine every day?
Yeah, pretty much. And it sucks because I get stuck in my habits.
Right. Or as we all do. What is your, give us your workout routine.
Right now, I wouldn't say relapsed, but right now what I'm doing, I kind of went back to what I used to do back in the day, which is like, I'm doing like a shoulder day and a back day and a leg day and a chest day. So like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Where for a while I was doing more of a push-pull split where I would essentially train like the front of my body one day and the back of my body the next.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I do that a lot. Like if I have a client twice a week or even 3 times a week, I'll do like push-pull and then like a full body day.
Interesting.
So the push day, it's like chest, shoulders, quads, and pull day is like the whole posterior chain.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that do working out those separately? It always seems to be like it's upper body, lower body.
Well, what I like about it is that it allows you to train upper and lower every day and not like overwork anything. So you get to hit your legs on Monday and Tuesday, but you're hitting different parts of your leg. So
Right.
that's what I like about it.
What's like a good beginner workout plan? Like if you had to pick a few somebody could start off with, what would you recommend? And it probably would be subject to what their goals are, but
Yeah, it's tough to say. But like with a few dumbbells, I would probably have somebody like maybe work out three times a week and have like a push pull routine, like push day, pull day, and something on the third day, like a functional day or just something different. It depends. Like I always think about like my clients like that. I'll do a push and a pull, and depending on what kind of person they are, what they need, the third day might be like heavy cardio, heavy core, like a little bit of everything, kind of mini boot camp. Yeah.
interesting. That's cool. So at least they have some kind of like, I always went to the gym with a plan, and I think that's important to like have something written down. When I was working out with Jamie, that was the time I didn't have to write anything down until
he have a plan?
after. Yeah, he would come with the plan, and then I would just write down what we did as we did it. But when I go to work out with kettlebells, like at home, I plan out what I'm gonna do beforehand. But I do that also when I teach. So I don't know if that's just like me being neurotic or if that's best practice.
It's good.
Like to have an objective when I go into it,
It keeps you on point. Like, even though you're only being accountable to yourself, there's still like this little layer of accountability. So it's a good idea.
What do you think Edge does the best?
I think it's like a customer service thing where everybody at Edge kind of gives a shit. And it's not just the employees. I guess customer service is the wrong word. But it's the members. Everybody kind of feels like they're part of it.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to like like whatever Aspen became, Crunch. like nobody goes to crunch and feels like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm a crunch member, right?
Right.
Like there's kind of a sense,
Team crunch, right? There's none of
it's
that.
like, I guess it's corny. It's like a community, right, at Edge, or like a family, but everybody, for the most part, I think like feels like they're part of something. So they tend to take care of the gym better. They take care of each other better. There's not a lot of like douchebaggery going on. Those people, when they do come, they tend to like just work themselves out eventually.
Right. Yeah, they end up leaving and finding their way out the door. The only douchebaggery I've seen there was when Jamie and I were using the leg press machine, and Sandra came over and stole 2 of our 45-pound plates, and completely didn't even realize that we were using them. It was so funny. Jamie and I, we were on the we were in between reps, and I remember I was like talking to Jamie about something. She came over and took the plates off, and I go, "Oh, did she just take our plates?" And Jamie goes, "Yeah, I think so, but I'll just grab these 45." So he just like replaces them, and as he does, she puts 2 and 2 together, and she's like, "Oh, I am so sorry." She was so embarrassed.
Yeah. That's usually about
totally harmless.
That's usually about the extent of it.
It was so funny.
Well, people know like I'm probably, if they're gonna be a douche, they're probably gonna get called out on it by me or somebody else.
Yeah. Well, do you guys have a hunk alarm too? Lunk?
We don't.
Hunk. Hunk is when a hot dude walks into the gym. You hit the hunk alarm.
That's the alarm we have. It's just like an air horn. But yeah, definitely. I feel like I can't take credit for that. The community element, but I think that's the coolest thing.
You just attracted really cool people. A lot of my friends work out there, and I love just the vibe that you guys have, and just like the extensive cool stuff of available machines that you have there. It's cool now to see like you're branching out to your second location. It's wild. It's a
little surreal right now.
Yeah. Like how much farther until that project's completed?
December 1st.
Oh, really? You'd be ready to rip. So you're close, huh?
Ready to rip.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
So, well, when this episode is out, the Edge would be open by now.
Oh,
so I record these in advance. This is November. Hold on. I don't know. Let me unlock my watch, apparently. November 4th.
Yeah.
So by the time this airs, you are going to have your new place open, which is really cool.
We're officially going with Edge Strength and Recovery for a name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Strength and Recovery.
Yep.
That's sweet. And you'll have machines there, recovery things there. Man, what a cool like timeline and story from the starting of Edge. What's the future of Edge hold? Like, what do you want to do after you do this wellness spot or recovery spot?
Well, I mean, I don't have a plan.
You don't have to.
No, I don't usually. I mean,
I respect that.
Yeah,
I can respect that, right?
I'm not a long-term plan kind of person. I think actually that's a benefit to me sometimes. Like, I'm ready to go with the flow. Which if I wasn't like that, I wouldn't have been able to open this second place, because I wasn't looking in Syracuse for this spot. I was looking in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And
bro, we're cut from the same cloth, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm the same. Like I don't usually have I don't think 10 years in advance. I'm like, I don't know, when things happen, and
too much can get jacked up. And,
yeah. It's like Bruce Lee said, dude, be like water. Go with the flow, dude. So no long-term plans, but just like...
I mean, I would be open to a lot of different things. I still would love to have a place in Liverpool.
Okay, so if you had a large sum of money you could drop, you'd put a place in Liverpool for sure.
Yeah.
What other... Would there be like a machine that you've always wanted or something?
I don't think so. I mean, I could definitely stand to like replenish and upgrade some of my stuff, like get newer treadmills, things like that. If you want to spend $100,000 on a gym, you can do that real easy.
Yeah, the equipment's so expensive.
Yeah.
$100,000, that's 3 pieces of equipment.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's not hard to spend money.
It's like a set of kettlebells and a bar. That's it.
Yeah.
I will never financially recover from this.
Story of my life.
Story of my life.
But it's funny, too. You can buy a $150 barbell, but you can buy a $1,500 barbell, too.
Oh yeah, right.
So like, if you want the good shit, you got to pay.
But why is the one? Is it gonna be bad? It's probably gonna be pretty bad, isn't it?
Oh, the $150 one.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had that bar.
Yeah.
For one, it's got the it doesn't have like bearings or anything in it or bushings, so it's just like a metal sleeve on the bar and like an Allen like nut twisted.
Oh.
So like you could be like bench pressing and one of the collars could just fall off completely because it comes unscrewed.
Oh.
You know how in like one of the curl bars, like the cheap like little curl bars, they get loose on the end.
Yeah.
That's how like the cheap ass barbells are.
The one that I have is it's a bar, and the plates go obviously the other side, but it's like a screw. It has like a giant nut, and you spin it, and then it locks in place.
That's real bottom of the barrel there.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. That
like
was a
Sears.
hand me down. Yeah, hand me down where
that was purchased at Sears for definitely.
Yep. Somebody was getting rid of it, and I was like, I actually don't have a bench bar. That'd be kind of cool to have a spot down in my basement. So it has a one 35-pound kettlebell, what's 24 kilograms? It's like 58 pounds.
Yeah.
I got 2 of those. Those things are monsters. I can't do much with those.
60.
Those things are beasts. Row machine and bench. A bench. And that bench is pretty trash, I'm finding out.
Yeah. Pretty janky.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a part of it. At least you got something. And I don't know. For me, it's just like when I do physical activity, I feel like the rest of the day I'm cool. If I can do at least an hour of like lifting, throwing kettlebell around or something, I feel like the rest of the day I'm a little more chill.
You like a morning workout guy or?
I am more of a whenever I can fit it in kind of guy, and usually it's in like late evenings, like when I get the kids down, or my workout being jujitsu, which is usually late evenings when they do advanced open mats Sunday mornings. They are like 10 a.m. I get done by 11, but the rest of the day, dude, I'm chill. I'm like flatline the rest of the day. Nothing gets me angry. I don't get excited about anything. I'm just like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Yeah, you want to go? Yeah, we'll go eat dinner. Yeah,
no
sure.
road rage.
No road rage. I'm like, oh, this dude cut me off. As opposed to like I'm usually like Dennis Reynolds, like screaming at the top of my lungs at somebody, So we talked about what Edge did the best. We talked about the future of Edge. Is there anything you want to talk or promote about Edge other than like the new location?
When does this come out?
This will be after December. It'll probably be like, let's see. Probably like the 8th, so it'll be pretty much out immediately after.
Well, obviously, I need to promote the new place because I can't have that grand opening with no people.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I might have that still, but you can help me on the second week.
Yeah.
The one other thing that we started doing, I started an affiliation with this thing called DECA, which is an offshoot of Spartan races.
Oh.
You've heard of those, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So they've created this other thing called DECA, which is it's 10 things, 10 exercises, and I'm hosting the DECA Mile at Edge, which is going to be you do an exercise like say like a burpee with an overhead press.
Ooh.
So you do that like a bunch of those, then you run 160 meters, and then you do the next thing, maybe like the Airdyne bike.
Oh.
And then you run again for 160 meters. By the end, you'll have done 10 exercises and run a mile.
Oh my God.
And you get like, you're essentially competing against yourself and there's like leaderboards and.
Oh my God. Is that your grand opening?
No.
No.
But I'm hosting it. Like it just on December 10th this year.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be the first one I host.
Nice.
I want to do it a couple times a year. So like my people are really, it's the only one in Syracuse. Anybody in the area can come and like kind of test themselves periodically.
That's cool. And do you already know the workouts?
Yeah, it's so that's what's kind of cool about it too is that it's standardized. So like anywhere you do a DECA, any time of year, any place, it's going to be the same thing.
Oh.
So like that's how you're able to compete against somebody in like Saskatchewan.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's cool. How'd you get hooked up with these guys?
They contacted me. I think they were looking for something in the Syracuse area.
Yeah.
they give you a little bit of a buffer zone, so like nobody can do that around me now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And I think they checked out my website and saw that it was I pretty much had everything I needed to get it going, because they have specific equipment you need,
Yeah.
like the bikes, rowers, ski erg, slam balls, things like that.
Yeah, right. So you already have everything ready to go.
Yeah, I had to order these things called rams that are they kind of look like foam rollers, but they're weighted up to 55 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're really cool. They're very versatile. Like anything you do with a sandbag, you would do with these, but they're like harder.
Yeah.
So like, and you can use them for like a foam roller, like body tempering. I don't know if you've ever done that.
No, I haven't.
You just like roll like a heavy object on your muscle.
Oh, I've done like foam rollers, but never like a heavy object.
Yeah. You
Interesting.
you can do it with like a barbell.
Oh.
It'll really tear you up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why do you do that? Does it make you stronger?
Sometimes you gotta get deep.
Oh, like a massage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, you want to like break up the fascia and like the deeper tissues.
Gotcha. I was just thinking like when I do my roller, dude, it's not a 50 pound. I'm just like gliding on my hips, just kind of working out.
Just chilling.
Yeah. Like
you might not be getting deep enough. Like sometimes,
that's true, dude. I might not.
So like there's different tools you want for like stretching, like working on your muscles. Like a massage doesn't do the same thing as a foam roller or a lacrosse ball or body tempering. Like all these different ways of attacking. Say your quad's messed up and you need to get it to chill out.
Right.
Sometimes your foam roller just ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, the lacrosse ball is a real one, dude.
Oh yeah.
That one makes me cry.
Yeah.
I do that one on the floor sometimes, and I'll do it like my back is the worst one. The calf not so bad, but I think I wuss out and I kind of like pull my leg up. When I do my back on the floor, I can't like pull myself up without driving it in more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But then like working on the knots, dude, I always feel so much looser.
You should post at the end of this, like a clip of you with a lacrosse ball like jammed into you and just crying. Just
help me get up.
Yeah, my wife and I took a certification class for called the Role Model, and it's about essentially using like the TheraBalls to.
And it's called Role Model.
Yeah.
Dude, that's genius. They better give a promotion to whoever thought of that idea. Holy shit, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Do you have a stretch routine?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No.
Damn,
that's a fault.
Is it? Oh, it's okay. I have a stretch routine, and it's helped me at least get a little bit more flexible. And that's one thing I think I need to add to my stretch routine is like maybe a few minutes of lacrosse ball or foam roller or something. Would you recommend doing that before or after you work out?
Foam roller and like a lacrosse ball are better before. Well, they're good at both ends, but before you can actually increase force production if you use like a lacrosse ball.
Oh.
Because the tissue will work better.
Interesting. Okay.
But stretching, like static stretching, you don't want to do before because that'll decrease force production.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. I've always seen people doing it before, but I'm like...
You want to do a little like active stretching before.
Yeah.
Just like, some like light active stretching.
I do a lot of dynamic stuff when I stretch. I'm always like bouncing into my stretches because like with jiu-jitsu, it's never hold and fold, like fold and hold in one position. Like a lot of times it's like I'm trying to shrimp to my side. So it's like, it's that active motion of my leg. And I don't know if I should be doing static, but I always do dynamic where I'm moving into my stretches.
At the end, it wouldn't hurt to do a little like static stretching. Like
yeah.
But you're probably doing fine, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's I just have my routine. It's probably like 4 minutes in total, but it hits everything, and it's how I stretch my class out when I teach. I started doing that like 3-4 years ago, like literally just before COVID, because sometimes I would just have people stretch out on their own.
Yeah.
But it would turn into them just like, hey, how's your weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's going on, dude? Yeah, and they're like getting their gloves on and talking about the weekend. I'm like, no, stretch. So when I get them to do it with me, I get all participation. I get everybody stretching in at once. So then I was like, all right, let's make something that I will I could do every class.
Do you have foam rollers there too?
Yeah, we do. I think we only have like one or two, but people would bring their own a lot of times. So I would see people stretching out with those before, but I never knew. I was like, is that legit or is that?
Yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, well, like before or after. Before sounds to be like the better stick. I don't know how we got all the way from there from the thing you were trying to plug. What was it called again?
The Deca.
The Deca.
Yeah,
thank
how
you.
did that happen?
I have no idea.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I do. I can. This first event, the capacity is going to be about 60 people, and I'd like to hit that. I don't know. Maybe by then I'll be maxed out. Maybe I'll be short. But
And when is it again?
December 10th. So it goes in like heats where 6 people go at a time. So the heats start at 8 a.m. until like 1 p.m. I don't remember how long the heats are, but
Gotcha. And if somebody wants to register, where do they
there's
go?
a link on my Instagram, Edge Syracuse.
Okay.
Or you could probably just Google like the Deca. You can go on the Deca Fit website and find it.
Now, if you're gonna do this race, is there any weightlifting happening, or is it just like run, go to a cardio machine, run again?
So they tried to design it so there's very little barrier to entry. Like they wanted to make it not like where a CrossFit Games where you have to have a lot of technique.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, does somebody have to prepare for it? But
you should prepare physically,
right?
But you don't have to be proficient at anything in particular to take, like the medicine ball thing. Like you take a medicine ball and you pick it up and you throw it over your shoulder, right? Like it's like functional type stuff.
Yeah.
Or there's lunges with the RAM thing we were talking about. Burpees, like things that anybody can be taught in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
If that.
Right. Because I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, oh man, if I'm gonna compete in something like this, I would want to see like it in advance. If I got to know how to do kettle swings with a certain amount of weight, that's really cool. I like that.
And it's cool too. And already, it was already the case, but now it's even better. But Edge is like the only place in the area where you could actually train for it because nobody else has
all the equipment
I have. Yeah.
Right. That's cool. Very cool, man.
If somebody does, they can come at me, but I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, right. Well, the cool news is you'll be the first episode with the new studio. So everybody gets to see the new space with it all done up now, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty fancy.
Yeah. It's a cool sign, isn't it, dude? Check it out. It gets so bright, and I don't know.
Does it do other colors?
No, just I bought it in orange because that's the brand color. Yeah, it's cool. Cool little touch. It's been nice chatting with you, Ryan. Thanks for doing this, dude. I appreciate you. I can't wait to see what the new space looks out, and I need to get my ass back in the gym, I think.
At the very least, we'll get you in the ice bath.
Oh my God, that's something I've never done.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do one of those before.
It's like the first time you go in, you're gonna like slide in and slide immediately out. Like,
really?
It feels like you can't breathe. But I mean, Joe Rogan would tell you to stop being a little bitch and get in there.
And just get your ass in there.
Yeah.
And the sauna too.
Yeah.
The sauna's been a big love for me. I would fuck with a sauna.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
And I can help you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, dude. I appreciate you for doing this. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.